Naam, wabunge kutoka mrengo wa Azimio One Kenya Alliance wamemaliza kuhutubia wanahabari katika majengo ya bunge na wamesema kuwa wanawaomba wanapolisi waweze wakawaachilie vijana walioshikwa jana wakiandamana katikati mwa jiji kuu la Nairobi, na pia wameweza kusema kuwa wale maofisa wa polisi waliowarushia maji waandamanaji hao na viongozi wa Azimio One Kenya Alliance, wao wenyewe watawachukulia hatua za kisheria. Tuwasikilize wabunge wa Azimio One Kenya Alliance wakiwahutubia wanahabari.
Tukisema ya kwamba jana yale yaliyojiri
channel
uliyaona wote, ya kwamba yale maandamano yetu yaliweza kufaulu na kufanikisha yale ambayo tulikuwa tunatarajia kuyafanya. Kitu cha kwanza tunataka kusema, katika uongozi ambao tunaongozwa na Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, amesema ya kwamba ni sharti bei ya vyakula vyote ambavyo Wakenya wanavitumia, bei ya maisha irudi chini. Kwa hiyo tuko hapa kuwaeleza Wakenya ya kwamba vile ambavyo tulisema ni lazima vitekelezwe, ndio tuone hali ya maisha itaenda namna gani ndani ya Kenya. Bila hivyo hatuwezi kukubali. Tumesema tutarudi tena Jumatatu, tutakuwa katika uwanja tena huu wa Nairobi. Kwa hiyo hawa ndugu zangu tuko nao pamoja hapa. Sisi tumekubaliana ya kwamba muongozo ulioko hivi sasa, tumekubaliana na maagizo yake ya kwamba tutaendelea na maandamano, kwa sababu maandamano yetu yote tunaofanya ni ya amani. Nataka kumpisha Secretary General aweze kuendelea. Kiongozi walio wachache katika bunge, walio wengi.
I will be very brief before I give way for our SG to also say some few things. But let me just echo what Leader Mazayo has already said, that Kenyans from all walks of life yesterday made us proud as a country. As you can see, this movement is no longer just about Azimio, as these Kenya Kwanza people are mistaken to believe. This movement is growing by the day, and indeed, if you are keen enough, you must have realized that those who turned up for these demonstrations were people who belonged to all political formations. There were very many people who even never voted for Azimio in the last election, but they turned up in their numbers. And therefore this movement can no longer be trivialized in the manner the Kenya Kwanza people are attempting to do. But more importantly, it must be made clear that we are in this for the long haul. If anyone is thinking that this is merely an activity that is going to end sometime soon, then is living in a different planet. We are in this until all our demands are met. And those demands will have to be met. And we are very clear on them. You open the server, you involve all stakeholders in the reconstitution of the IBC, and you reduce the cost of living. Do those three things, and you will find Nairobi returning to normalcy and the rest of the country. There are no two ways about it. No two ways about it. No amount of propaganda, no amount of press conferences, no amount of lamentations is going to cure this problem. Just deal with those three issues. The chest stamping must come to an end, as it will soon come to an end, for sure. We want also to caution the police against engaging in arbitrary arrests of innocent Kenyans who are going about exercising their democratic right under the Constitution. And on that note, we demand that all those youth who were illegally arrested yesterday and are languishing in various police stations be released immediately and unconditionally. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. This address to you has been necessitated by the statement that has just been read here by our colleagues from the Kenya Kwanza side. We feel it is imperative for us to deal with the propaganda and the lies and the mischaracterization of yesterday's events by our friends from Kenya Kwanza. I will address only two things. Number one, was the Maandamano of yesterday peaceful? We as the conveners of that event yesterday had planned to have a very peaceful Maandamano. We encouraged our supporters to show up unarmed and to proceed peaceably to KICC. We indeed, as members of parliament, proceeded from this very premises to KICC peaceably and unarmed, but yet were still confronted with tear gas and rubber bullets. So we want to make it very clear that yesterday's Maandamano was peaceful in its planning and execution until police interfered. We have seen images, and you people captured them, of police officers firing tear gas, using water cannons on people who are just marching peacefully. What we have decided to do as a coalition is to identify individual police officers who must then bear responsibility for their acts and omissions yesterday. The first one is the OCS for KICC, who was the one ordering his subordinates to tear gas us without any justification. The second one is the police officer who has now become infamous on social media, who was captured aiming live rounds at us on Wabera Street. We have identified him as an officer attached to the DCI in Kilimani. We will also be presenting complaints about those two officers to the IPOA. Lastly, on the question of whether our Maandamano was protected by the law under the Constitution, we know that the Kenya Kwanza people want to mischaracterize us as people who operate outside the realm of the law. We know that under Article 37, all of us indeed have the right to assemble, picket, peaceably march, do whatever it is you want to do. We are challenging them that if they are having difficulty with Article 37, and they always chest stamp and say they have the majority of numbers in the National Assembly and in the Senate, let them bring an amendment to do away with Article 37 so that we can know that we are fully back in the Kanu days. So as far as we are concerned, we are within the law, and if anyone thinks that anybody operated outside the law, they know what to do. Arrest people, charge them, and let's see what charges you bring against them. I thank you. Yes, I want to invite the deputy leader in the Senate. Then we'll have Junet, and then yes.
Thank you very much. I'll address my